We're a family business of chartered accountants and registered auditors, and we do everything in the accounting world.
One of the things that I was taught when studying tax was do it as though you're talking to your nan. Something that's plain and simple.
How important would you say is mental maths and arithmetic skills in accountancy?
Honestly,
Sweet.
The most important thing you actually need is to be able to use.
Good morning, welcome to Hurkan Sayman Co. Come in and meet the team.
Welcome to the HICAMO show and to this behind the scenes interview. I'm Hannah and today I'm joined by Hasan Hurer, a chartered accountant. Today we're going to be discussing a bit about his career and family business, Hurkan Sayman Co. Let's get into it. So, who are Hurkan Sayman Co and what do you guys do?
We're a family business of chartered accountants and registered auditors, and we do everything in the accounting world, from payroll, company formations, bookkeeping, of course, accounts and taxation. Typical day, of course, starts with a nice cup of coffee, open up the computer, read through my emails and catch up on all of the urgent bits, nothing that can really wait. Staff are arriving at the office, so usually there'll be just a few questions. I need help with this piece of work, or what do I need to do today? Can you fix this IT issue? Resolve that. And then it's just getting on with my daily work, whatever's left to do. But ultimately, you can't really have much of a structure because clients will often call you and want something that was due yesterday.
so I do like a bit of bookkeeping, accounts works, speaking to clients.
For people that might not know, what is bookkeeping?
Just to give a bit of background, before I actually came to Hurkan Sayman, I was just like a pure accountant at the other firm. And that's another thing, bookkeeping gives you a good insight to accounting because you're basically like putting invoices onto like a system or so on and so forth, doing expenses, that kind of stuff. So you get to see a whole view of like the accounts.
So my job primarily is to deal with all the tax returns for certain partners in the firm. That's dealing with the clients, collating the information, computing the tax returns, chasing money if you have to, and answering any technical tax queries.
So how does somebody become an accountant?
You can start really at a young age, at 16, 17, 18 from school. You can join a firm as a junior. Often it's doing bookkeeping. At the same time, you can study if you so wish to. Often for the younger ones, it would be doing AAT, and then flowing into the ACCA or ACA qualification. Quite often people will go into a study contract where the firm supports you through your exams, gives you some time to study, and then you can become a qualified accountant. But to get a foot in the door, there's so many areas to really explore. You can get into payroll, bookkeeping, or jump straight into accounts with some of the study contracts. So ACCA is the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. This is probably one of the more flexible routes because quite often people might not be working in an accountancy firm and can still start this qualification, and it gives you a really good insight and understanding. ACA is the Association of Chartered Accountants, and that often goes in hand with audit training, so it tends to be sort of top 100 type firm training where you're on audit or looking at maybe listed companies or larger entities, and it's quite an intense route to go. Straight from university, I went into a training contract. It was a 3-year ACA contract with a top 50 firm, and I worked in the audit department. During the 3 years, I was supported very well through studies. I was given study support and time off in order to make sure I passed my exam.
I was doing so much research to find out what's better. ACCA, ACA, they're all letters, they sound the same as well, like one's missing a C. I was like, what's different? But I found out that ACA is more for people that want to go into like industry and they do big clients doing audit. And ACCA is more for someone that, like, if you want to have your own like practice and you want to yeah, you want to help out, like say local people that you know, it's probably better off to do the ACCA. But at the end of the day, as long as you get that piece of paper, ACA or ACCA, then there's nothing that can really hold you back in the current world.
So, university or apprenticeships, and why?
I think now apprenticeships is good because it's hands-on learning, and that's so important these days.
I think it depends on the person, but I would say if you're unsure, 100% do apprenticeship because you get to work every day and see it. Luckily, I knew accounting was for me when I went to uni anyway, but if I didn't, then I would have been stuck because that's what I would have done my degree.
If you're going to go into the city, working for bigger firms, I think a degree at uni is very important still.
So, for those that are interested in finding work experience in accountancy, so maybe 1 to 2 weeks, where should they look?
So I think most accountancy firms are used to having people come join them for work experience. We are approached by a few schools where we do offer places to them, and it's really important that people do have that 1 week, 2 weeks experience, and if firms didn't offer that, then people will stop wanting to become accountants. So you'll find that most firms will offer that. Most firms will probably be looking for some summer interns because that's the time when a lot of people are away on holidays, and you've got a lot more sort of free space in the office. So with that extra desk space, it's easier to bring people in. And I would just say it's not hard to apply. And a lot of the local firms on your high streets will most likely be able to assist.
So the key thing is just start asking to reach out.
Exactly that. Don't be shy, and don't worry if one place hasn't got the space for you.
What are the key skills required to be a tax accountant?
So one of the key skills, you've got to be good with your numbers, interpersonnel skills, being able to liaise with clients in layman terms. There's going to be a lot of things which clients aren't going to understand because it's too technical.
If you have a brain that's quite logical, then because in accounting everything makes sense. So if you think like black and white, then it's probably better for you. If you're creative as well, potentially depending, but more logical people.
Both aspects can be applied.
Yeah, depending.
One of the things that I was taught when studying tax was do it as though you're talking to your nan. Something that's plain and simple.
The most important thing you actually need is to be able to use Excel and to do simple formulas, and I find that perhaps with the younger generation being focused more on tablets and working in a slightly different environment, that the current generation are a bit behind on Excel, and it's probably the most important tool used in our day-to-day work life.
How important would you say is mental maths and arithmetic skills in accountancy?
Honestly, it's all facade because we use calculators all day. When I'm doing 2 times 2, if I'm doing that, I'll do it on my calculator. Obviously, if you ask me, I'll know what it is.
Despite what people think, you don't have to be actually good at adding up or maths. Use a calculator.
Gives you less of a fear of numbers if you're good at maths, rather than like when you see like millions or thousands, or when you're doing accounting, you're more used to numbers, but you're going to use a spreadsheet or a calculator.
What you do have to be good at is understanding figures, so looking at something and seeing it make sense. So if you can't add up 1 and 1, don't worry, you can still be an accountant.
Today's challenge is the paper ball challenge. We're going to shoot the paper balls into the wastebasket from 2 different distances, 3 attempts each. Good luck.
Good luck to you too.
1, 2, 3, 4.
How can I miss it from there?
Let's take 8 steps back.
Close. Let me see if I can get in again so I can win properly, fair and square. How did it go behind the bin? Actually, Hasan did. round one. I won round two, Hasan won round one, so now we're going to do round three. The first person to get it in wins. No. This is getting hard now.
Yeah.
Didn't realise it's such a Your attempts say you were close, but it's not close enough. I'm happy for a re-challenge next time.
You might have to go again. More points.
Well done.
So when did you first found Hurkan Sayman Co?
Oh, originally back in 1991 when I was on my own, so I was just the only person working myself. My cousin joined, and then my wife joined, and then there have been a few changes over the last few years, and so we're at the stage now where there's 21 of us. My wife is still with me, but now both my sons are here as well.
Amazing. What inspired you to then start Hurkan Sayman Co?
Again, I said I've always been the sort that, as a family, I saw my parents always helping relatives, friends, and as I said, being an accountant is always about trying to help other people, help businesses grow, make sure they pay the right amount of tax, and that's something I just wanted to do.
So how do you make work fun?
Let's be realistic. The work itself is not fun, so it's the atmosphere that you have. So when I interview somebody or when someone joins the firm, we look for the right sort of characters. We look to have people that are sociable, that are going to turn up to work with a smile on their face every day. So it's creating an atmosphere of a good team, people that will interact, talk, say hello, say bye-bye. Having good people will just naturally create a nice working environment, and it will become fun.
Working for like a family firm, like it's actually a proper family firm. Like, it's so nice, like everyone's nice, and whereas like in the other firm, obviously you're just a number, and like you have to clock in and clock out. It's really not really bad, but that's just how it is, isn't it? So here, like you get in like a little bit late, it's fine, just making time up. Like it's quite relaxed, so there's no pressure. And I feel like I've been able to, me as a person, I've been able to work better because I've been more relaxed. Like sometimes when like you're at a bigger firm, you get like stuff called like budgets and like for jobs, so you only get a certain amount of time to finish jobs. Whereas here, obviously you only get a certain amount of time, but it's not a problem if you go over.
How would you compare working at Hurkan Sayman Co versus other companies?
It's wicked here, I enjoy it. People have become family. I mix with them in and out of work, which is not something I used to do. For many years working in the city and other places, whereas here it's a close-knit community, it's a family, and that's something that I really enjoy because I love to be loved. I need to be loved, otherwise it doesn't go my way. So it's nice, people making cups of tea, popping out for lunch together. His dad's brilliant, he's very laid back, his door's always open, he's someone you can close the door and talk to. There's not many firms out there where you can do it, which is another important thing. If you're going to work at a firm, make sure that you're able to approach a director to talk about work, personal stuff, make sure the door's always open.
Mentorship is really key. Yeah.
100%.
So what would you say the main differences between a company, more family business like Hurkan Sayman Co and companies like say the Big Four?
So with the Big Four, it's very much target driven and timesheet driven. There's a lot of, I suppose, pressure on you to perform, and that's fine because it does come with its rewards. You of course have a lot more potential to climb sort of a corporate ladder. But when you work in a family business like ours, of course you join a family, so there is a different kind of warmth. we're flexible with people, more understanding that people might have family needs.
So what did you wish you knew before becoming an accountant?
The sooner you get started into your qualifications, the better, probably, I'd say. Because like right now I'm trying to do my ACCA and I wish I did it like, as soon as I left uni basically. So yeah, sooner the better to get qualified, I would say.
What advice would you give to a young person considering a career in accountancy?
Make sure you know who you are and what your interests are and how you are as a person. If you're somebody who is very interactive with people and can't sit at a desk for 6, 7, 8 hours a day, then it may not be for you. If it's going to take you 15, 20 years to become a director of a particular firm, is it worth the wait? Personally, I've been doing 5 days a week in an office for 15 years and it got to a point where I had enough. So that's why I had a bit of an interesting career. You know, I took a stopgap, I quit for 2 years, I became a postman just to see something different on the other side, and it was most probably one of the best things I ever did. It just opened up different opportunities. So you've got to be able to sit in an office, you know, full time.
Everyone thinks obviously to become an accountant or to become chartered, you need to get like a degree or so on and so forth. But I think nowadays, if you can find a place that will allow you to do an apprenticeship, or even they might allow you to work part-time and pay for your studying, I think that's much better off, because it gives you the opportunity to actually learn while you're on the job. And who knows, like that 6 months or a year down the line, you might say this is not for me. Whereas at university, you're there for 3 or 4 years and you don't really have a chance to see that. So I'll definitely suggest for everyone to definitely look into doing apprenticeships and study packages with businesses.
Thank you for joining us today, Hasan, and giving us some useful career insight about accountancy. Thank you for watching, and let us know how you get along in the challenge, and comment down below if there's any other career insights you'd like to see.
Thank you for joining us today at Hurkan Sayman Co and meeting the team, and thanks for learning more about the business and let me show you around. Now, get out.
Thank you.